Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins just keep making moves, and this one could shake things up in the running. Backroom. According to NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, they're bringing in Aaron Shamklin, the former Pittsburgh Steelers, back after a Monday tryout. And you know what? Yo, this isn't a random signing. It's strategic. Shamklin might not be a household name, but he's got that grinder mentality coaches love. The timing is interesting too. On the same day, veteran Jamal Williams was also working out for the team, which suggests the Dolphins aren't done. They're shopping, they're testing, they're reloading. Let's not forget training camp started with 5 backs. Then rookie free agent Nate Noel got waived, landing with the Colts, which dropped Miami to just 4. 4 running backs in camp. That's low by NFL standards. So yeah, this was bound to happen. Shamklin's here, but the Dolphins' RB hunt may not be over yet. Shamklin's NFL resume isn't flashy, but it's legit enough to earn him another shot. He played in 3 games for Pittsburgh last season, carried the ball 6 times for 17 yards, and logged 27 snaps split between offense and special teams. That's not much, but in this league, every snap is a chance to prove you belong. He got to Pittsburgh after stints with the Colts and Chargers, though last season was his first real taste of regular season action. Fun fact for the old school fans, he went undrafted out of Harvard, so somewhere Ryan Fitzpatrick is probably smiling in approval. The scouting report from Steelers insider Noah Strackbine paints him as a hard-nosed runner, smart, dependable, with good hands. Not a starter, but the kind of last depth chart guy who can do whatever you need, whether it's pounding it inside, catching a check down, or covering kicks. Those are the guys who stick around longer than you think. But let's talk about why this signing is even happening now. This isn't just about depth for depth's sake. The Dolphins just got hit with bad news on veteran Alexander Mattison. Sunday in Chicago, late in the game against the Bears, Mattison took a nasty hit. Bears rookie DB Tysheem Johnson dragged him down after a 21-yard catch, and Mattison landed awkwardly on his head. Scary moment. Trainers rushed out, Coach Mike McDaniel checked in, and eventually Mattison walked to the locker room under his own power. But on Monday, we learned he had neck surgery in Chicago. That's major. You don't make a move like that unless you're preparing for a long absence. Mattison was supposed to be that short yardage hammer Miami needed. Now, they've got a hole. And it's not the kind of hole you wait weeks to fill. The frustrating part is Mattison was starting to carve out exactly the role the Dolphins wanted for him. Remember, they signed him as a free agent from the Raiders this offseason specifically because they were terrible in short yardage situations last year. It's one of those unsexy stats that doesn't get headlines, but it loses you games. In week 1, he scored his first Dolphins touchdown on a 1-yard run, exactly the kind of play he was brought in for. Sure, he was stuffed on 1st and goal, and Zach Wilson threw incomplete on 2nd down, but on 3rd, Mattison powered it in. That's the guy they were hoping could take the beating inside so Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane could focus on explosive plays. Now, with Mattison sidelined indefinitely, Miami's run game depth chart feels thinner than it should in mid-August. Hence, Shamklin's sudden opportunity. Now we can't ignore the Jamal Williams angle here. Williams isn't officially signed, but the workout makes sense. He's an 8-year veteran out of BYU, most famous for leading the NFL with 17 rushing touchdowns in 2022 when he was with the Lions. That's not a typo. 17, the man lived at the goal line that year. The last 2 seasons with the Saints were, and let's just say, less exciting, but that doesn't erase what he brings. Physicality, vision, and the ability to get 2 yards when you need one. If Miami does bring him in, suddenly that RB room has a bruiser again. Between Shamklin's versatility and Williams' short yardage pedigree, they'd have 2 guys who can take some pressure off Mostert, who's at his best when he's fresh and attacking the edges. And trust me, you do not want Mostert wasting his speed on 1-yard plunges into a pile. Miami's RB situation also raises a bigger question about how this offense wants to operate in 2025. Last year, they were electric through the air. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, speed everywhere. But when defenses took away the deep ball, the Dolphins needed a plan B. That plan B often failed. Inside runs were stuffed, red zone drives stalled, and field goals replaced touchdowns. That's why adding Madison was so important, and why his loss stings more than it might on paper. Shamklin, in theory, gives them a guy who can run inside zones, pick up blitzes, and contribute on special teams without burning a roster spot on a single-use player. And if Williams signs, that's insurance. You're not going to find another Derrick Henry in mid-August, but you can at least find backs who keep the offense balanced enough to keep defenses honest. The timing of all this also matters. We're deep enough into camp that the playbook installation is well underway, but not so deep that a new player can't catch up. Shamklin's reputation as a smart, high football IQ player works in his favor. Coming from Harvard, the guy isn't going to struggle with assignments or protections. Coaches love that because nothing gets a running back benched faster than missing a blitz pickup. And Miami's offensive scheme under McDaniel isn't a cakewalk. It's motion heavy, timing based, and requires precision. If Shamklin can pick it up fast, he'll get preseason reps, and if he shines there, he can make the 53-man roster. It's not a lock, but the opportunity is real. The guy just has to prove he's more than a camp body filling space until someone else walks. You're through the door. Of course, the question on fans' minds is whether this is enough. The AFC East is loaded. The Bills still have Josh Allen. The Jets are trying to go all in with Aaron Rodgers. And the Patriots, okay, they're rebuilding, but they still play tough defense. Miami can't afford to go into the season with a shaky running back rotation, especially given Mostert's injury history and a change size. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last move we see. There are still veterans like Gus Edwards on the market, and roster cuts are coming league-wide in the next few weeks. Sometimes the best value comes not now, but when teams start trimming down from 90 players to 53. That's when you see solid depth guys suddenly available, and that's when good teams pounce. So for now, Shamklin gets his shot. This is the NFL, and opportunities like this don't come often. He's gone from undrafted out of Harvard to bouncing around practice squads to actual regular season snaps to now potentially being part of a Dolphins team with playoff expectations. That's a journey a lot of guys would kill for. And if he plays his cards right, this could be the start of something bigger. It's not about becoming a star. It's about becoming reliable. Coaches love reliability. Fans love reliability when it wins games. And if Shamklin becomes the guy who quietly makes a 3rd and 2 conversions possible, people will remember his name come January. Until then, the Dolphins' running back room remains a work in progress. And in the NFL, progress is often made one transaction at a time. Still with us? No? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? There's a growing buzz shaking the NFL world, especially around Miami, where whispers suggest Rasul Douglas, the formidable cornerback known for his lockdown coverage, might have just changed the game entirely. The rumors have it that Douglas, often called a secondary wall, is on the verge of signing a massive 4-year deal with the Dolphins. Imagine what that means for Miami's defense. This isn't just any signing, it's potentially a revolution at the heart of their secondary. If the deal goes through as sources hint, the Dolphins could be looking at transforming their backfield into one of the league's most feared units, disrupting opposing quarterbacks and turning Miami into a defensive fortress. Douglas's reputation precedes him. Known for his uncanny ability to read plays and his physical style, he's earned a reputation as a shutdown corner who can handle the toughest receivers. His presence on the field doesn't just elevate the defense, it demands respect and changes how offenses approach the Dolphins. The speculation is that Douglas's signing might finally fill a glaring gap in Miami's secondary that's been apparent for seasons. This move could send a message to the entire NFL. Miami is serious about defense and ready to contend at the highest level. This possible signing also has fans and analysts buzzing about Miami's defensive strategy. With Douglas anchoring the secondary, the Dolphins could confidently unleash more aggressive blitz packages, knowing their cornerback can cover wide receivers one-on-one. It's the kind of chess move coaches dream about, forcing offenses into mistakes while the defense capitalizes. Some insiders speculate this might even influence Miami's draft and trade plans, shifting their focus from secondary reinforcements to bolstering other areas, trusting Douglas to hold down the backfield. Like a seasoned general, the implications extend beyond just the field. Rasul Douglas if he indeed inks that 4-year deal, brings leadership and a winning mentality that Miami has been craving. His experience in high-pressure games and ability to mentor younger players could be invaluable. The rumor mill suggests the Dolphins are not just signing a player, they're acquiring a cornerstone for their locker room culture. This might be a key factor in why the front office pursued Douglas so aggressively, hoping his impact resonates off the field as much as on it. Of course, all of this speculation fuels endless debates among fans and pundits alike. Some argue Douglas's style fits perfectly with Miami's defensive coordinator's vision, who favors physicality and discipline in coverage. Others wonder if the investment is worth the cost, considering Douglas's injury history. Yeah, the excitement remains palpable, as the possibility of a shutdown corner locking down Miami's secondary feels like the missing puzzle piece that could catapult the Dolphins into playoff contention and beyond. There's also chatter about how this move could disrupt the balance of power within the AFC East. The Dolphins have long struggled to keep pace with their rivals, but bringing in a player like Douglas might signal a shift in dynamics. The Patriots and Bills might have to rethink their offensive schemes against Miami, wary of a secondary that suddenly looks impregnable. If Douglas thrives, the ripple effect could redefine rivalries and game plans across the division, adding another layer of intrigue to an already competitive landscape. Beyond the tactical advantages, the potential signing of Douglas speaks volumes about Miami's ambitions and their front office's vision. It hints at a franchise ready to invest in defense as a foundation for sustained success. The Dolphins might be signaling a new era where defensive prowess is prioritized, breaking away from past tendencies to chase flashy offensive signings. This strategic pivot, if confirmed, could set the tone for years to come, attracting more defensive talents eager to join a team on the rise. Analysts are also considering the broader NFL trend of valuing elite cornerbacks, noting how teams with shutdown corners often boast some of the league's best defenses. Rasul Douglas fits neatly into this mold, a player who can change games by limiting top receivers' impact. The speculation is that Miami is aligning itself with this winning formula, hoping to replicate the success seen by teams who have built their defenses around lockdown corners. This potential signing might be more than just about one player. It could be about Miami embracing a philosophy that defines championship teams. Meanwhile, the fan base is caught up in the excitement and anticipation, fueling social media with posts, memes, and theories about how Douglas's arrival might reshape the Dolphins' identity. There's a palpable sense of hope that this could be the start of something special, a turning point after years of inconsistency. If the deal goes through, it could be a moment remembered as a spark that ignited a new chapter in Miami's football history, inspiring loyalty and passion across the city and beyond. As the rumor mill churns and the clock ticks closer to the official announcement, one thing is clear: Rasul Douglas to the Dolphins is more than just a signing. It's a potential game changer that promises to reshape Miami's defense, energize its fan base, and challenge the very fabric of the AFC East. Whether or not the deal is finalized, the speculation alone has reignited hope and conversation, reminding everyone that in the NFL, a single signing can sometimes spark a revolution, and Miami, it seems, might just be on the brink of one. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.